Joke is over. Baylor men's basketball is winning the national championship next season.
You are Locked On Baylor, your daily podcast on the Baylor Bears, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Wow. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to Locked On Baylor. I am happy, and I know it. Clap my hands from Sports Illustrated's Inside the Bears. That is Brandon McKinnon from Our Daily Bears, despite what his name tag says. Thank you for making Locked On Baylor your first listen every single day. And thank you, Yves Missi, or as Evan Abear said, because this is an Evan Abear show, Yves Missi. Get it?
Doesn't miss shots, make shots. Yep.
He has reclassified. Young guy, but he has foregone his senior year of high school to enter the NCAA and play for your Fighting Baylor Bears. Brandon, this could be it. All of our prayers could be answered. Or it also could not be it. Law of averages.
Yes, we're back. And this is a psychology podcast. This is Locked On Your Medulla Oblongata. Thank you for making it your first listen every day.
Psychologio.
So I know what all of you are thinking. Why would Yves Missi miss his senior prom? Why would he do it?
Why?
I can't imagine Prolific Prep has that great of a senior prom. And because of that,
I got invited this year.
By Yves Missi. By who?
I can't, for legal reasons, I can't say who invited me to their junior prom.
Yeah, so I mean, it's obviously huge news, but I mean, I'm very excited. Look, I'm ready to turn over a new leaf. I'm ready to be positive again. I'm ready. I'm primed. It's a huge get. A ton of raw talent, a ton of upside, a very very high floor. So there's not going to be like a ton of no moments. It's more no, yes, that was nice. Just super athletic kid, but he didn't hit the national recruiting scene until 18 months ago. Like he still is a young kid, and but he's gonna be good. He is gonna be good, and he's another scholarship player, so that brings that number up, which is something we were concerned with. So yeah, I mean, I'm overall really excited. I'm entering into it with tempered expectations of, I still think most of the minutes at the 5 are Jonathan Tchamwa-Tchatchoua and Josh Ojenwuna next year. I just do. And I think that's okay, but I don't know that Yves is going to give us 20 a game.
Yves. Here's the weird part about our friend Yves Missi, who's coming to Baylor. Number 2 center overall in his class per ESPN, class of 2024. So he's a top 5 center in this next class, no matter what, even if as he has reclassified to 23. Jacoby Walter, number 2 shooting guard. Miro Little is an ESPN top 100 player, one of the best point guards. So Baylor's getting really good players at 3 dynamic positions going into next season. He'll be on the floor. Yeah. Really young, yeah. And I like that you mentioned Jonathan Tchamwa-Tchatchoua already going to play center for the Bears. Josh Ojenwuna will already have time at center for the Bears. And now Yves Missi comes in. He's not the Jalen Bridges type that you lost. He's not like your Adam Flagler Deadeye or LJ Cryer Deadeye that you lost.
TBD Jalen Bridges, but
right. Good,
yes.
True. This is a piece where it's like, oh, yes, this is really good. But I was truly being hyperbolic in saying that all is figured out and now Baylor's going to win a national championship. That's it. Certainly inflated. I don't know. This is good. This is a good thing. But Brandon, let's go a little deeper. I mean, this isn't the piece that makes Baylor Final Four caliber, especially with as many scholarship spots that are still open.
I mean, Jaden Nunn is going to be a good addition.
Can I hand up here?
Yeah.
Jaden Nunn to me is a much bigger piece than Yves Missi going into next season.
For next year.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yves Missi is going to get more hype. Jaden Nunn is a much more key piece to this team.
For sure. I mean, Yves is going to be a depth piece for sure. And I think that's unless unless he blows all of us out of the water and it's like, oh my goodness, looks incredible, huge off season. But when have we ever played 3 centers?
We tried.
Yeah.
Ish.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I think that Yves reclassifying is much more of a testament to, I think I can come to Waco and develop more in the 2023-2024 season than I can dominating the high school circuit. I think I can come and be under a college coach where I want to be, learn from a fellow Cameroonian and Jonathan Chamwa Chachua, Yves Missi from the Cameroon, and develop. And I think that is going to pay dividends, which is why guys like Jaden Nunn are a bigger piece. And like, yes, Yves Missi is a higher rated prospect than Miro Little, but Miro Little is going to have more of an impact, in my opinion, on next year's team because of the need at the position. Jacoby Walter wasn't McDonald's All-American. He is going to play wherever he goes. So the Yves thing is great. It's very good news. It's very positive. It changes the shift in the mindset of what this offseason has felt like and been like. But I don't know that this is hey, this guy's playing day one. I mean, I don't know. That's my opinion.
Do you remember a kid named Will Baker?
No.
Okay. Gonna blow your mind. Gonna blow everybody's mind right now. I work at Waco Tours. Was given a tour in the last week. Old man named Dean, actually, comes up. Turns out our friend Dean played in the ABL in Cleveland.
Okay.
Wild stuff. Like, to meet a real life guy who played in the ABL was pretty dope. And he goes, hey, remember Will Baker from Texas? And I was like, yeah. Oddly, I do. Role player at Texas under Shaka Smart, Will Baker, because he played like 10 minutes a game. 7 foot tall, 245 pounds. Transferred around a couple times. He was at Nevada last year. Now he's going to LSU. I was like, yeah, what about it? He goes, oh, him and Coach Drew are good friends. I was like, Dean, ABL Dean, gonna have to unpack this one for me.
Yeah.
And he said Drew recruited Will Baker out of the portal this offseason. Again, Brandon, you and I didn't hear about this, obviously. Yeah. I didn't know about this. And then Dean from my Waco tour was like, oh, yeah, I'm related to the kid. Scott told him, I want you to come to Baylor. You will have to split time with our other bigs. So sounds like whoever Scott was going to get in this big spot was going to split time with somebody. This isn't like Yves is going to step in and start. Mm-hmm. He's not going to start. He won't be a starting player for Baylor. Great depth piece. But Will Baker, who's now committed to LSU, 7 foot tall from Austin, 245 pounds, had the offer, could have come and played at Baylor. And Scott basically said, hey, I want to let you know, I'm just going to warn you, if you come here, you're going to have to split time with people.
Which is a great, like, that's not a bad thing. Most coaches would be like, start right away. And then
it's a really nice thing to
leaves
do.
Again. Yeah.
It's a really kind, Dean was happy with the way that Scott handled that.
Yeah.
I was like, Dean, brother, I don't know if you know this, but I host a podcast, and I'm going to have to say that.
Yeah.
So my good man Dean gave me some insider baseball that Baylor almost got Will Baker from Nevada, transfer from Nevada, and now he's going to LSU because Scott was like, yeah, you can come here. And I wonder how many like, we don't have enough room for you, kid, to be the star. And I bet it's a lot. But Brandon, I don't want to close up the Yves Missi book yet. How we've talked about temper your expectations a little bit because he's not as good as Jaden Nunn, not going to contribute like Miro Little, Jacoby Walter. But like, let's end on a happy note. Give me why you are truly excited about, like, what is the ceiling then? We've talked how there's a high floor. What is the true ceiling for our friend Yves?
Yeah, and I didn't say he's not as good as Jaden Nunn because I think if you ask any college,
I said he is going to be better for Baylor next season than Jaden Nunn. He is no.
You said Jaden Nunn
is going to be better for Baylor, a better piece for Baylor next season, and I stand by that wholeheartedly. Sorry.
Yeah, and I don't think that is incorrect, but you're asking me the ceiling question, which gets to this. So when you watch Yves Missi tape, or if you watched the GEICO Nationals and you watch prolific prep play or anything, the number one thing that jumps out to you, in my opinion, is his motor and footwork on the defensive end of the floor. So I'm going to dive down a rabbit hole, and I know we're on 10-minute segments, so I'm going to go over this. But when I say motor defensively, what I'm talking about is not oh, he's blocking every shot. Oh, he's getting every rebound. Oh,
Right.
he's guarding on the perimeter. Like, he does those things. But what I'm talking about is that he never stops moving. The death of a big man on defense is when your feet are in the mud. And Yves never does that. He has great footwork. He contests everything, even if he doesn't get there. He goes after every rebound, even if it's a tip to a guard. Like, he is so active on defense. And I think we could have used that last year, even though we said he's probably not going to be a huge minutes guy this year. But high motor on defense. On offense, he runs rim to rim and on fast break. So he's always going to be that guy. It's going to be a lob that around the rim. He gives you a little bit of passing. There were a few possessions where his opponent was in the 2-3, and I watched him flash the elbow, and he's able to hit cutters, which is great because you can see over those guys. There's a video in the article that I put out. He is a good 3-point shooter from the corner, apparently.
All right.
And so I think he has a crazy high ceiling. The comp that I made, minus the jumpers, because that was not with anybody on him, it was in warmups. I think his NBA comp to me is Robert Williams on the Boston Celtics.
You are a big Celtics guy, my friend.
I am. I mean, everybody's going to say Joel Embiid or whatever, because he's an African player coming over, similar background, didn't start playing until he was older, blah, blah, blah. But if you look at what he does, I don't think he has a shot making ability that Joel even had at Kansas. So I definitely think it's rim runner, defense. Robert Williams is the best, one of the best in the league at that. So
speaking of best, Built Bar is the best way to start your day. You want a good breakfast? You want to go right now and you want to eat breakfast when you listen to this. This show releases at 7 a.m. Central Time every day. So our East Coast friends, it's 8. Our Pacific Time friends, that is 6-ish. 7, 5. Eat a Built Bar whenever you watch the show. Gosh dang it. They're so good for you. Have a Built Bar and have a Miller Lite. I'm not going to stop you. They are 130 calories. They're real life, actual chocolate, real chocolate. They have like 13 grams of protein too. 14 grams of protein, even better. Right now at Walmart, you can get a 4-bar box. That is 4, which is way above average, by the way. At least average. Or a 13-bar box at Sam's Club. You can do it right now. You can get your car. You can go do it. You can just say, like, I'm done. I'm done not having a Built Bar in my mouth. You go to one of those places and you get a Built Bar. Or you go to Built.com and you order them at Built.com. It's just so freaking easy, man. I don't get it. I don't get how much more I don't. What else do I have to say to get you to go do it and just get a Built Bar? It's good, man. I'm telling you. You're going to like it, man or woman. I shouldn't discriminate. 4% of our listeners are female. Thank you to those who are listening right now. The ladies. Go get a Built Bar, Built.com, Sam's Club, Walmart, all those places. They have Built Bars. Get the coconut almond. It's my favorite. Brandon, top 5 transfers for Baylor basketball going into next season. This was interesting to me. Do you keep up with WFAA, the big news station in Dallas?
Mm-hmm.
So we have a relationship with WFAA now, and they run Locked On Baylor. Do you know that?
I do now.
Yeah, me too. I have not. So we're owned by the same parent company, WFAA, KCEN, Locked On Baylor, all of that. The number one player that Andy Patton, the host of the national show, National College Locked On. I'm going to read these off and get your reaction. The number one player that Andy Patton, the host of the National Locked On College Basketball podcast, says that Baylor should get in the transfer portal Grant Nelson, North Dakota State, a forward, 18 points, 9.3 rebounds, 6'10" big man, but he handles the ball, stretches the floor, protects the rim. He has got a draft for the NBA Combine, but would be an outstanding fit. Thoughts on our friend Grant Nelson?
So he entered the portal like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So late portal ad. I quote tweeted his portal announcement and said, it's really easy going to another school that's also green and gold. I think it's a perfect fit.
You would say North Dakota, they're green and gold, right? North Dakota State?
Yeah.
Would you say like North Dakota State's a good school, like a good place for people to be?
I think North Dakota is a nice little state.
Like, isn't it weird that anyone would want to leave Fargo, North Dakota? Why would you want to transfer out of North Dakota State?
Because the only place better than Fargo, North Dakota is Waco, Texas.
Barely too, by the way. Just a little. It's
pun
subjective.
intended. Barely. No, I think he'd be a great fit. I mean, it's impossible to watch his tape and be like, I don't want that. I think if you're going to talk about a big that Oh, dude, this is horrifying. There's a spider on my wall.
All right, sweet.
I really hate spiders. Wow. I'm gonna stand up and get this live action spider get. Sorry to YouTube, but I'm gonna continue my thought on Grant. Yeah, I mean, when you look at his tape, it's impossible to be like, oh, I don't want this guy, or compare him to other kind of bigs that handle the ball and think that he's not going to give you the same things defensively, because he actually has, he's a really high level athlete for a guy that size. So yes, I think that would be a great fit and would fill a need. And I apologize for the spider interruption.
That was awesome. I liked that. Number 2, Musa Cisse, center.
Dude, okay.
Oklahoma State.
Probably not happening with Yves coming in, but Musa Cisse is a
dude.
stud.
Can you imagine Baylor just completely flips the script for the national championship year?
Yeah.
Just screw the guard play. I want 5 centers on the floor at once.
No, Musa's the real deal, but I don't think that's happening, nor do I think it would be a good fit.
Musa Cisse, 8 rebounds, 7 points per game. He's like Flo Thamba that gets rebounds. So that's
Have
Musa
you watched
Cisse.
him shoot free throws? It's not good.
No, very good defense though. Very good defense. His free throw percentage is like 52%. So that
have you watched him play on ball defense?
Problem. No. Yes. Yes. You don't like it?
Can't really switch well. No.
Oh. Number 3, Jalen Tyson, wing out of Texas Tech, 11 points per game, 6 rebounds. One of the best freshmen in the Big 12 last season. Mark Adams no longer exists at Tech. Everybody in the Big 12 just seems to be trading coaches and players every other day. So why not?
Insider trading. I want him bad. I know he listens to this pod too. Do it for me, please. Please come to Waco. No, he is such a good like combo wing to where you have to respect his shot so much that he can blow by you on almost any possession. And then as soon as you take a few steps back, he can knock down the jumper. He would be, if Jalen comes back and we get him, he would be such a good fit.
Are you still sitting at 50-50 on Jalen coming back now a week after that announcement?
Yeah, yesterday he was in Portland at the Trailblazers facility.
I'm telling you, I don't think he's coming back.
And look, it's not even like I'm saying, oh, Jalen told, like, follow Jalen Bridges on Instagram. You will see what he's doing, and it's pursuing an NBA career.
I don't think he's coming back, man.
Which for the record, that is also what Matthew Meyer did 2 years ago. That is also what Jared Butler did. Going through the NBA draft process is meeting with the NBA teams. It's not just like, I'm going to work out and get some feedback. It's like, you're going to fly around and do this stuff. Yeah. So I don't know. I know for a fact that Jalen was one of the guys that was the most bought in last year. So maybe he comes back.
I hope. I talked to him recently. He's a good dude, man. Number 4, you might never heard this guy, Trey White.
Haven't heard of him.
Wing from USC, 9 points, 5 rebounds, and assists. Native of Dallas.
I'm automatically out on any Pac-12 player.
Native of Dallas. Average 9 and 5, 27 minutes per night, 6'7" at USC. He is not much of a shooter, but a lot of untapped potential and would play a good wing spot. Dude, again,
untapped potential is just like
the entire, like the name of the game for next year's roster.
Well, I mean, for incoming freshmen, I guess I don't want that.
Kid's young. He was.
I don't know anything about him. Never heard of him. I'm out.
Like next year's roster, if I could describe it one phrase, is untapped potential.
Yeah,
like,
high ceiling.
These guys got a lot of potential.
Yeah, high ceiling.
Only again 5 returners next season. Did you know? I don't know if you listened to the show the other day. I was looking and like. Numbers 0 through 12 on the roster last season. It's like 9 guys that wore numbers in that range. All of them are gone.
Yeah, I listened to that. That was a fun stat.
Every single one of them were like, all right, we're out.
Yeah.
Crazy how many players are gone from last year's team. Last one here, Shendall. I'll go Shendall Weaver. Point guard, UT Arlington, 9.5 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, or would be like your Dale Bonner. Not to say Dale, I wouldn't consider Dale Bonner to be a point guard, but he's the Dale Bonner is like, okay, guy's good at a small school. Won't be a huge key contributor next season, but could end up being solid. Has visited A&M and Texas so far from Mansfield. So also WAC Freshman of the Year.
Yeah,
Meaning,
I actually am familiar with I am familiar with your game, and
oh,
opposite Shaq meme. Um, I actually think he would be a cool fit. I mean, obviously can handle the ball. It's basically insurance in case Miro is not ready. D'Antoine didn't develop because those are really our two primary ball handlers going into the season.
like, well,
So it'd be
let's
nice.
say so Baylor's got 9 guys now.
Yeah, I mean, so we can
No,
play the name game in the last segment. It's pretty good. Like
Baylor's got
the name
9
game is not
guys
bad.
that can play. Let's do it here. Well, so those are our 5 guys. The 5 guys that Baylor should target or needs to target or has targeted. If Baylor gets 2 of those 5, I'm feeling good. Even 1? You're saying even 1?
I'll take 1.
Need a wing. I don't like guards. I think we're going to be okay. Either an elite guard, really elite guard, or just give me like a serviceable
We
wing.
still don't know what the hell Langston's going to be. Like we saw so much
or
good
Caleb
stuff.
Lohner. Like
We know, yeah, sure.
I hope we don't know what Caleb Lohner is going to be. I hope he reinvents himself. I hope
I'm
he
still
goes
singing the
bald.
same song that the high school version, the like overtime YouTube video. Caleb Lohner is in there, and BYU screwed him by making him play the 5 and 1 full off season, and he's there. I still think that's a possibility. All right, sorry, the name game. Let's do it.
D'Antoine Grimes.
Good.
Miro Little.
Good.
Langston Love.
Good.
Is this like a starting lineup so far?
Just rotation guys. Guys who will play minutes.
Miro Little, Langston Love, Jacoby Walter, Jaden Nunn, Josh Ojenwuna, Jonathan Chamwa Chachua.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Ojenwuna,
Miro
Little, and Yves Missi.
That's your 9. 10 if Jalen comes back.
If Jalen comes back, I really, really like that 10.
I mean, it's either Jalen comes back or we get an impact wing, and it's like, okay, that's a good 10. But I mean, now we're back in the same like cycle that we were in last year. I mean, when we did the guy off, and it was just like we have these 10 guys, like, and then we didn't know. Great, so whatever. But yes,
and last year's team went 0-3 in Big 12 play and lost in the first weekend. Guess what, Brandon? Call it right now. I've said this before in the last month. Next year's Baylor basketball team is probably a first weekend exit. 5 returning guys, man. Like the current 9 guys. There are 9 playable players. Somebody make me a case.
I mean, most teams don't have 9 guys.
Yeah, but Baylor's
Did UConn have 9 guys this year?
Oh, like 9 contributors. Yeah, they probably had just about 8. They probably had 8 or 9 that could like get out there and do something serviceable.
Yeah. So I mean,
but I'm saying Baylor doesn't have enough serviceable players to scrimmage to do a 5-on-5. I don't.
Caleb is serviceable to scrimmage.
I don't like that. Does he make 10?
Yeah, that's 10. 11 if Jalen comes back.
Sorry, I forgot Caleb there.
I feel like we're forgetting someone else.
There's no way. Oh, there's that one kid that signed as a walk-on. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah. Some kid signed as a walk-on. We could talk about it more, but like
where did he sign from?
Great question. Siberia? I have no idea.
Oh, is he European, or are you just like?
Oh no, I actually don't know. Actually don't know. Like it came across so and so name signs with Baylor as a walk-on. All right, sweet. The company pays me to talk about scholarship players. Unless he becomes a Freddie Gillespie, which is possible. I did not do a show, so sorry, on Austin Sachs and what he brought to the program. So.
Oh, wait. Austin was there last year. Or are you saying
know.
There's another?
I'm saying
okay.
I didn't
like.
When Austin Sachs came aboard, it wasn't like.
Got it.
All right.
Got it.
Time to break this one down.
I'm tracking. So I mean, I guess so. I mean, maybe I'm optimistic. I feel better about that 9. I don't know. Like,
you think that's a 9 that gets out of the first weekend right now?
Kind of. I think Jacoby's going to be better than Keontae was.
Will he be a team player? Do you promise?
I don't think Keontae wasn't a team player.
No, I would agree with you. I would agree. I would. I think Keontae loves Baylor.
I think Keontae loved Baylor. I think
but
Jacoby's.
Keontae also took a lot of bad shots.
Well, there was also
he was very much volume shooting.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I did like a post-mortem on last year's team, and I rewatched a bunch of games that we lost just because I love pain. And there was like a lot of like really stagnant offensive possessions where like Keontae just had the ball in his hand with 5 seconds and he's like, oh shit, and shot the ball.
Yeah.
Oh, bleep. Sorry. Excuse me. You can you can redact that.
Sorry, kids.
But no, I do think Jacoby's defense gives him a higher ceiling from a freshman standpoint, and his offensive game absolutely exploded in GEICO Nationals against the highest level of competition. So I think Jacoby's going to be a better player than Keontae and play his way into the lottery next year. Boom. And get us out of the first weekend.
Before we get you out of here, Brandon.
But Yves Missi reclassified. That's why we're here. Yves Missi reclassified.
Yves Missi. Most heartbreaking, worst Baylor basketball loss of all time. Go.
I mean, probably Duke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the Duke Elite Eight game.
Yep. 2012.
Yeah. My buddy saw Nolan Smith.
2010. 2010.
I think it was 08. Look, I became a Baylor fan in 2013 when I graduated from high school, and I came to Baylor. I'm not going to be like I'm this decade long or like multiple generation Baylor fan, but where I'm going with this Duke thing, my buddy ran into Nolan Smith at the Barstool event at the Final Four in Houston. No free ads, redacted. And 2010. And Nolan Smith, he asked him about that game, and he was like, and also when I interviewed Tweety at the beginning of last year, he also said that game was brutal and like they thought they could have beat them and thought they were better. Nolan Smith told my buddy, Baylor was better than us. That was the hardest team we played. Baylor was the second best team in the country that year because Duke went on to win the Natty. So I think Duke probably goes down as the most heartbreaking loss. But in my time as a Baylor fan, that Georgia State game was a real pain. Like that really sucked when RJ Hunter's dad
fell out of his wheelchair thing.
Also, RJ Hunter fell off his stool. That one wasn't fun. I really didn't enjoy UNC in the tournament last year because like everything came back and they were like, yeah, we're going to do this. And then we didn't.
Yeah. There's just a lot of football ones, and basketball only has a handful, which is a good thing.
Which is good. But, yep. Exactly.
That is Brandon McKinnon from our Daily Bears. I'm Drake Toll from Stuff. If you like today's show, come back tomorrow because Big Game Boomer is going to be here.
Let's also just be positive. Baylor men's basketball trajectory turned around. Come back tomorrow.
Yves Missi, baby.
Missi.
I like it.
I'm getting him an NIL deal with Yves St. Laurent for all you high fashion folks out there. It's going to happen. Yves hit my line. My DMs have never been more open or less open. It's going to be great.
Thank you for making Locked On Baylor your first listen every single day. This has been and always will be Locked On
Spiders.
Baylor.